see where you got in the grass. I'll give you the hit. Alright, so got the tree fitty in here. We're just in here chilling for the day. But the door's cracked, letting all my cold air out. It's kinda hot out today, it's like 80s probably. But I have that AC. I always knock this motherfucker off. I have the AC over there set on a timer, so in the morning it'll kick on at like 6 o'clock or something and go ahead and start, you know, blowing some cool air in here. And then that one I'll just turn on when I come in. So it's not too bad in here. It's like 60 something, 70-ish. It's not bad. So I'm gonna start today with some porting. I'm gonna port the lower portion of this plenum. The runners going in to the motor, into the heads. They're definitely bigger. I measured, it was like 3 millimeter or something off this way and that way. So I'm going to port to at least match that. I haven't decided if I'm gonna take this lower off yet and just smooth some of that out to get closer to that gasket, but I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. It already kind of flares up, but it necks down a lot on that. So I'm gonna port that. I'm gonna port this snout going into this. I went ahead and made you could see where the gasket was on it, and the oil and the residue had left like a dirty ring, so I marked it with a marker so I knew how big I needed to go and what size it needed to be. So there is quite a bit of meat on this. Like, I mean, there's a lot. So what I've seen a lot of people say is where they get most of their gain from is down here on this. So I'm gonna try and open up a lot of this as much as I can and see if I can smooth all that out and help it flow some. I'm probably gonna take this fucking spacer off because I feel like it would help get in here a lot better. It's kind of blocking the way right now. So I'm gonna get started on porting that. The blower is gonna be the very last thing. I've got to make spacers for it, so I'll have to get some steel to make them out of. But for now, I'm gonna get started on porting this thing, and I'll show you guys the progress here in a bit when I get a good ways into it. Alright guys, so over here got the tree fitty Z in the house, garage, place, whatever. Finished porting the intake. Did the upper plenum and the lower plenum, taped it all off. Really need sandblasted, and I don't want to, I don't have a sandblaster, and it would take forever to sit here and try and polish this thing to where it was like shiny aluminum. I'm not trying to spend that much time doing that. So we got some high temp primer, and we're doing the blower the same also. I asked him, I was like, hey, you know, if you want to paint the intake, I think we should paint the blower. It's had a rough earlier life, even though it wasn't used. It was corroded and stuff and pretty nasty, and it wasn't all coming off. So I told him it'd be easier to keep it clean if we did this. So that's where we're at right now. First coat on that, doing the oil pan also, just spraying a coat across it. It had some rust spots on it. Damn, what the fuck's all over my lens? Better. It had some rust spots on it, some surface rust, so I took the wire brush and ground those down to metal. Put a coat of paint on them just to prevent them from rusting again. And then right there is the spacer that's going on. I already did the valve cover gaskets on. We're gonna change plugs. He's got some NGK, 1 step colder, since it's gonna be blower. And besides that, done the valve cover gaskets, the oil spacer, and it takes RTV and not really a gasket. And then I got some intercooler piping right here that goes with the blower, and the intercooler is right there, and some giant heavy ass fucking beefy looking brackets that somebody made. So we'll see if we use those or if I use something else. I'm not sure. Most likely gonna paint all of the intercooler piping the same. It's a black pearl. It's the same thing I used that I did the 4080 transmission for the S10. Painted it the same color. Turned out really good and looks really good. So I'm gonna do any intercooler pipe that you will see. It'll be that color, like this one that's got the MAF cup fucking flange on it. Pull all the couplers off and paint them. I need to pull this wideband sensor out for him too. I've got to give him this wideband sensor. I got to make spacers for the blower. That'll be fun. We got a bigger inline fuel pump here somewhere too. Don't know if we'll use that. I gave him the part number for an Aeromotive Stealth 340. Should be enough pump on pump gas. Maybe I'm trying to find an injector option for this thing too. Maybe we'll put an inline pump later, but right now I don't think he's going to need it. So I'm going to finish getting these painted and done, and then I'll bring you guys back in a bit. Alright guys. Fan off out the way. Puppy of the day is Hoosier, huh? So the girls are all inside chilling. I'm laying in my Hoosier bed. It's done. They are drying. It should be about dry. It's been about an hour, but the light doesn't do it justice. It looks way better. Way better in person. You can kind of see the flake and shit. This shit looks fucking good though. The pan, I just did the pan black. So I didn't pause this shit. Change it anyways. Let's find a lamp biscuit. There we go. So I just bolted up the spacer. Just bolted the spacer. I gotta put the plugs in. Painted it black. So everything looks good. The RTV there. But yeah, I'm gonna put some probably put some pipe thread sealant on that, not RTV. I've seen people RTV it before, but not going to. And then I can't put the intake on. I'm waiting on plugs still. I really want to set it on there because I want to see what it looks like. Because damn, it looks fucking good. I need to clean this throttle body though, because it does not do it justice. It's gonna look a little off. If I had a sandblaster, I could just kind of sandblast some shit, clean a lot easier. The intercooler pipe is probably gonna end up being that same black pearl. So once we figure out what intercooler pipe's going where, I'll sand rough it all up, paint it the same color. The intercooler is probably just going to be a flat black. So we'll get there when we get there. I'm going to go ahead and put some sealant on them plugs and put them plugs in real quick. Alright, so got everything bolted on. She's looking pretty. Looks a lot better. Kind of mocking some stuff up. I got one piece of intercooler pipe that'll go here, and I'm going to have to make the rest that's going to go up to the blower. And from here, right there, to connect to this piece that's gonna be right here. So a little bit of finagling. I went through the directions over there and found out that I got half the spacers. These are the spacers and the bolts I need. I need 4 bolts, and I need to make one spacer, and I gotta grind that one down just a little bit. It's a little too big. Hence probably why he was throwing belts, whoever had this on before. So not really missing a lot. Just gotta make some shit and get a new return line, or empty a line to be able to empty the oil out of it and drain it. So getting there slowly but surely. Bee! Baby mama, come here, Bee. CTSV, come here. So you got the dog of the day. Got Small Block. How's my moss? What you doing? Out there eating sticks and shit. Putting valve covers on for a second time. He got male gaskets, the M-A-H-L-E, Mahal, male, whatever. He got those gaskets and put them on, put it on the car, and that motherfucker is just pissing oil. As you can see, it was just pissing it out the valve cover. It didn't seal up. And then I found on the inside corner here, it looked like almost like a mold had like a stamp or a little fucking crease in it, and it like made it in the mold because it had like a little indent all the way around where the oil was just pissing over it and out. So pulled them out, he returned them and got some Nissan ones, which also are much nicer because they've got those little nipples right there which help hold it in. The other gasket, excuse me, I had to put RTV to try and hold it in because it just kept, every time I'd pick it up, it'd fucking fall out, and I'm like trying to fight it, trying to get it over the head, and it might just bump something and then it falls out, and then you're trying to shove it in while it's on, and it's like, fuck. This should be a lot easier. And there's a left and a right. One head is bigger than the other, just from, I guess, stagger of the intake, so it makes that head longer and the other one shorter, so everything's forward. But when I did the other gaskets, literally I just grabbed them and threw them on. I didn't realize there was a long and a short. I didn't pay any attention. I just got lucky and picked the right ones, but they still weren't worth a fuck. So the dog's getting yelled at. Better go stop them before they beat each other up. Now I got an air filter, which this thing does not look like it's gonna go on there. Like, let's say that's where it sits. Like, this is gonna have to come out in order for this to sit there. He's ordered a couplers because this coupler got a hole in it and it's a little rotted out. So he ordered a 2.5 to 3 for that and a 45. This mass airflow surprisingly works. I'm sure it's been beat the fuck up and thrashed and tossed around. Intercooler pipe ran down into that one, around to the intercooler. I got to make brackets for the intercooler to actually mount it and hang it properly. I might try and bring it up a little bit, which I'll have to move that power steering cooler, which I'm pretty sure that's what it is, cooler wise, because the training cooler is that other one. So pull it up. I'm gonna make a bracket for that horn. That motherfucker's loud for a $30 horn. He got it from Amazon. Excuse me. He got it from Amazon. It was like 20 or 30 bucks, and that motherfucker is pretty loud now. I've got to run this elbow. This elbow goes from here. That bracket right there is gonna have to go. It goes from here straight down, and I don't know if you can see or not, but dude, there's a lot of shit in the way to get all the way down there to that other pipe. No fucking way. That other pipe's right there. You can see it. So like all this shit's gonna have to be bent out the way. AC stuff's gonna have to be bent. It's gonna be a snug fit, that's for sure. So, but she's getting there. She looks good. It runs. We have the other computer here now. He was told it was a piggyback. I opened the box. Keep running out of time on the fucking disc or on the card, SD card. I keep having to delete shit, order shit. I need to make sure everything's backed up on the computer so I can delete the majority of it. But yeah, so it is a stock PCM that they sent off. He's like, oh, I sent it off to vortech and they piggybacked it. No, it's not what happens. I'm pretty sure they just flashed the computer. So hopefully it just fires up on it. If it'll fire up on this, run. I got an air fuel ratio gauge coming, a wideband, because the one in the car ain't worth a fuck. Put a new sensor in it. Now it doesn't want to fucking even show anything on the screen. Plug the sensor into my wideband, innovative tuning wideband. It works fine. So something's wrong with the actual gauge now. What are you doing, boy? What are you doing? Hoosier. Where's Smalls? Hi, baby girl. What are you doing, V? Oh my lord. They gutted the fucking toy. What did you guys do out here? Hoosier, what did you do? How do you gut every toy but that one? It's too tough. Being a good girl. See, I got my collar on because I'm bad. Huh, because I'd go over and jump the fence like a bad girl, huh? But anywho, oh, fuck. I moved the goddamn canopy and I keep hitting my fucking head on it. Alright, guys. So, working on the Z. Truck's gone and done now. So, working on, I got all the other intercooler pipe and couplers hooked up. This is the last one. figuring out a way to hook that to this. I've got a piece cut, another piece added, and another piece down here cut. It's a very tight squeeze. So I'm gonna see if I can get that shoved back on where it needs to be, if I can get it lined up enough where I could trim, put a coupler on it. So I'm gonna see if I can, that fucking coupler's pretty fucking thick and a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna get that back on there, and then I'm gonna see if I can connect the two together. I just brought this stuff in, I let it hang and dry from painting it, just painting the intercooler black and some of the piping that's seeable so it don't look like just, you know, old shitty aluminum. So working on that, working on making, about to cut a bracket out to mount this with some steel, and then once I get that on, I can put the intercooler on and start making making some templates for a bracket out of some cardboard, and then I'll get them made out of probably aluminum or something, out of one of those sheets I got over there. So get that mounted up, everything's good. Run a vacuum line, probably tee off of this, run it down to the blow off valve down there. It's an odd place to put it for something you're gonna daily drive, but take this down, elbow down, change ECU, swap the battery terminal, mounting it now, replace the couplers already. I gotta get some hairspray, painting it, make pipe for a pipe load, made that, mount wire horn, so working on that. So we can go ahead and mark off, place couplers, clean pipe, replace done, working on that. So I'm making the list smaller as we go, but there's something else, I just can't remember what the fuck it was. There's something else I needed to get to, and I need to be able to put it over here on this side so I could open the door a little better. So and then I'm gonna pull the old little Toyota Corolla in, get it on the lift so I can figure out where the oil leak's coming from and whatnot. But it's fucking pissing the rain down. Fucking cats and dogs out here today. I don't know. She said something about tornado watch or something, hurricane, whatever the fuck it is, tornado watch. I come through and just clean this little ditch out so it would fucking drain, because it was backing up pretty good. This fucking, all this shit was flooded way worse. But you can see my damn tent out there is sagging. I gotta find a way to get that up out the way. I'm gonna go fix that now before it gets worse. So when it dries, we'll get it mounted, guys.
You need to cut all the bullshit people out of your life. You need to quit fucking, you know what I mean? You need to cut all the things out of your life that are fucking causing you any kind of discomfort or harm. You know what I mean? Just shit like that, you know, like my guide to success.
Alright guys, so intercooler is mounted. I got bracket made on that side, bracket made on that side, holding it up. Ready to roll as far as, you know, the blower and intercooler setup are concerned, except for running a vacuum line for the blow-off valve. I gotta finish wiring up the horn. I gotta run this to a button. So as soon as I get that to a button, be ready to roll. So I'm gonna do that. I gotta put a fuel pump in the tank. I fucking put the key in the Subaru on accident. I left it, so now she's got the keys. So because I was gonna move this car over here, so I'd have more room to work on, you know, open the doors and not worry about hitting anything. So fucking found them in between the fucking seats. The other keys are in the goddamn house. Ah!